everyone. I know in my other channel when I did social divas, we put it as like mysteries, and but I'm gonna change it up a little and move social divas onto my vlogging channel and turn it into a podcast basically. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because firstly, on my other channel, I am putting more like videos now because it is easier to do videos and to do like um, updates on mysteries and missing people and stuff like that. So I want, like, we're gonna start our first podcast basically, and we're gonna go back to New Year's Eve on December 31st and January 1st. So if you have seen the vlog of my New Year's Eve, actually, so we're gonna start from the beginning. We're supposed to enter the float at 5 p.m. So I think I arrived there around like 4:30ish, and then there's already starting to have a queue, like a long queue. And on the paper that I printed out, like the ticket basically, it says that the last timing to sit down on our seats is like on the phone it shows. When I booked the ticket, it says 5:30 is the last time you can like exit and enter from the float. So that's why I arrived at 4:30. So I was expecting already very long queues at that time. So they opened the doors at 5 so that everyone can go in. And so when I bought the ticket and then the ticket was emailed to me, suddenly it shifted to from 5:30 that we had to be seated in our seats because it's free seating, to having to be seated in our seats by 7:30. Okay, so anyways, between 5:30 and 7:30 I wanted to be there early because I was afraid of you don't get to have like the seats that you want. So I arrived at 5, just to find out on that day that when we arrive, the show doesn't start until like 10 p.m. So we had like the full 5 hours of sitting there doing nothing. And then when we arrived and started the queue, the signboard says suddenly, when please be seated at your seats latest by 9:30. So then you have 30 minutes between you sitting down, or like at least like 30 minutes between the DJ ending. You can go and buy drinks or food or whatever you want, use the bathroom, and go and find the seats by 9:50. So that's like the first confusion. They have to pick like for me, it's like I don't really care because I'm alone, but they could have just picked 2 times that says please be seated between 8:30 to 9:30, so it is like a 1 whole hour that if people doesn't like that tired of standing where the DJ is, because the DJ is the other end of the float, they have like 1 hour to find a very good seat. Okay. And then because it is a raining season on December, January, and January, like even early February, there's still some rain, but not like a big deal. On like New Year's Eve, so I brought this gray raincoat of mine just in case of rain, and when we went in, they did give us another raincoat. And before we start talking about the rain and stuff, so when the ticket was given to us, I was told that on that day that there is like very small letterings about what to bring and what not to bring. But a lot of, for me, I don't really read the small prints because they are these like tiny on like the tickets, as if that I will read through every small fine details. So I brought a sandwich because I knew that to buy food and to buy drinks, any kind of drinks and food, is gonna be extremely expensive. And I was right, it was like very expensive. And suddenly there's this big poster when we are like going in to have to do back check, and then the big sign said you are not allowed to have outside food, not allowed to have outside drinks. Okay, these two I understand, alright, because you want people to be buying food and drinks from your vendors. But the other two, these other three actually, I really do not understand this. This says you're not allowed to bring your own water bottle in, if any kind of like drinks, whether it is water, like cold drinks or anything inside, and you're not allowed to bring like pre-packed food from your house in, and you are not allowed to bring your own umbrellas or raincoats. And I was already expecting to rain, and I don't even know whether you're gonna give me a raincoat or not. For the raincoat, actually, I did manage to like bring it in. It's not like a big problem or anything. But I had a sandwich, and so what I did is that because I had a plastic bag in my like the batik bag, because if it rains, I can always put it into the plastic and tie it up later. And what I did was, I put my sandwich inside the plastic bag, tied it, like squeeze out all the air, and wrapped like my the raincoat around it. And so when I go in, all I had to do is like take, and when they're gonna do the back check, all I had to do is like remove like the raincoat with the plastic bag inside to let them see there's like nothing inside. But what was like crazy for me is that you cannot tell families who has young kids, like between 4 and 10 years old, to be able to bring a water bottle. And especially some 4-year-olds, they want to have like chocolate or strawberry milk or something. You cannot just tell parents saying, oh, I'm sorry, like your kid is not allowed to drink their own milk, so you had to discard it. Okay, then sometimes like the sun starts setting around like 7 p.m. and that's when it started to the weather started to turn a little. So where we are at the float, we are very near Fullerton Hotel, and right across the float that is like, it's not that far. I would say like it's less than 1 kilometer away. It's like 0.5 kilometers away. It's Ritz-Carlton. Okay. So, and where the float is quite near to the sea, actually. And so, what the funniest thing is that with 5:30, it started to drizzle on the float, and everyone started to panic. So they took out the raincoat and put it on, and just like that, it stopped drizzling. So everyone removed it. Then it started to drizzle again, and everyone panicked again and put on the raincoat just for it to like stop drizzling, and then everyone all removed the raincoat. Then around 7:10, I remembered, I think it's around 7:10, Ritz-Carlton, where the Ritz-Carlton area is, started pouring rain. I remember. And then where we are, it started to drizzle quite a bit. So I put on like the raincoat, and you could see like lightning where Ritz-Carlton is. And I was a little bit nervous because I was thinking that, oh, if it starts raining, I'm not worried about the rain, but if the lightning starts coming closer to us, everyone has to seek shelter because they cannot like start the show if you have lightning and thunder. So the rain lasted for about an hour. Okay, by 8:45 they start announcing that please don't find your seats, because the show will start at 10 p.m. Then 10 p.m. came, and I really liked it, like how they like put the show together. But the only thing that I have to say about like the show is that you have like fireworks going off at the same time as you have the performers performing for us, and I find it a little bit distracting because I only thought that the fireworks will be happening right after the countdown for New Year's Day. I didn't know that the fireworks is going to be happening the whole 2 hours. Okay, so I feel a little bit bad for the performers because you have the performers work so hard into like performing, like putting out a very nice performance for everyone, and then you have the fireworks going off at the same time as the performers performing. Like for me, sitting in the audience, I am not sure which one I am supposed to be watching. Am I supposed to be watching the fireworks, or am I supposed to be watching the performers on stage? So it's like a little bit not balanced. So, but let's say that I like how they put the theme all around, like the Sanrio characters of Hello Kitty. But the only thing when when Hello Kitty came out is just barely 5 minutes. Like they could have between 11:45 and like the show like concluded to 11:55 when they start the countdown. They could have done something with like the Sunreal characters of like Melody, Hello Kitty, and I forgot the third one. It looks a little bit like Hello Kitty, like the mix of Hello Kitty and the Melody. When she came out, that the three can come out and say that, do some like, and like asking like the audience like questions like, are you guys ready for like the countdown or something like that? But it's a little of like of a weight of for the audience of like, what in the world are we like? There's quite a long wait between the show concluding and the countdown, and the audience is just sitting there waiting the clock to appear for the countdown. So yeah, I'm gonna end this podcast here, and then we'll come up. I have plenty full more like podcasts and vlogs coming out, and catch you guys in the next one.